So we're continuing our series on the SAMR model using TeacherMade. And again, the SAMR model stands for that progression of going from an analog, pencil paper classroom environment to how you can begin integrating technology effectively into your instruction. So we've been focusing on S for substitution, where you basically substitute digital items for the analog items in your classroom. And in this second video, we're going to do the same, but I'm going to talk about how you can begin to use some technology tools to make things easier for students or to make it more effective for them in the digital realm. So here I have a problem and solution worksheet that I would do with my students. They would review the question words on the graphic organizer, read the story, underline information about the problem and the solution, fill out this graphic organizer, and then complete this writing below. So there's a lot to this, and it can be daunting in how I can turn that into a digital worksheet. But again, using tools like TeacherMade, it can be really easy. First of all, the underlining information in the paragraph is already taken care of through the tools provided in TeacherMade. So when students open up the worksheet, they already have a tool to come in and underline whatever is needed. And I love how it's a nice, clear blue line that shows up really well. So that is taken care of for me. Great. Next, my students need to answer these questions or fill out this graphic organizer. So again, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to use my open answer tool to just fill out these areas. So I'm substituting what would normally be done with pencil and paper, and I'm making it digital using these tools. Now, if I really like this, I can Control D and duplicate. So that way they're all the exact same size. So if you're like me and you really want things to look the same, you can do that easily using Control D. And you don't have to outline it every time. So now my students have a digital way of completing the graphic organizer. Great. Now the next part. They need to take information from their graphic organizer to fill this in. And I don't want to get rid of these prompts. So I'm going to use, I do like short answer a little better for this, and I'm going to explain why here in just a minute. And again, I'm going to duplicate, Control D, and just resize here. And I'll put one over here. Okay, so before I get to this conjunction, the reason I like the text response rather than the open answer, so short answer rather than open answer, is because with this, you can actually put in what the correct answer should be. So we know what the students should have for when and for who and for what in this paragraph. So we can actually come in here and put what that answer should be, and TeacherMade will auto grade this. So now we're moving a little bit from substitution into that modify and augment, because now it's adding an extra feature for us as teachers by grading their work automatically for us. So that's a nice use of short answer for these 1 or 2 word responses. Now in the conjunction, I may decide to use, rather than a text answer or a open answer or short answer or an open answer, I may want to use a drop down. That's because they give us 2 options on this worksheet for students to use for the conjunction, but or so. So if I go in here and I put down my drop box, students can then just choose between but or so. And that correct response would be but. So again, it gives them a drop down of choices. But not only that, it will auto-grade which choice it should be. So that might be a great solution for your conjunction. Rather than just your open response, have a drop-down box. And I would do the same thing for my conjunction over here. And again, I can simply duplicate and bring it over. And here I'm going to change this response because it should be so. Then I will add my text responses down here. And I'll duplicate for here. Now, with this last one, depending on how long your how answer is, You may want to change this to a open answer to allow for more writing, but it would not be auto-graded in that feature. So once I have that completed, now I have not only a great substitution for my analog work, but I've added some really nice features for me, the teacher, as far as auto-grading, and made it easier for my students to complete. So we're really starting to move, again, from just substituting our work to really modifying it using the power of technology.